Hey y'all, welcome back to another cup of conversation where we have conversations worth having. I'm your girl Coco, and today I am solo dolo with a special guest, my husband. What you want them to know you by, Carrie or Bub?
Bub.
Bub. Okay, this is Bub, y'all. So that's what everybody else call him. I don't call him that, but everybody else does call him that. So y'all know we like to start our episode off with how you feeling and how you dealing. And so that's basically what we talk about, like how you feeling, and if you feeling a certain way, how are you dealing with it, basically. So I'll go first. So first of all, I'm pretty relaxed today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous to do this episode without T, because I think I really need T to do these episodes. Like, tea is like the spice to the episode. Like, you know how you eat something and it's bland and then you put a little seasoning on it. So I'm kind of nervous today. But how I'm dealing with it is that I'm going to push through because I have my other half here. So I should be fine. But how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty great.
Okay.
I'm feeling...
Be honest.
I'm kind of feeling anxious.
Why?
Because, like, I don't know, life's just going so good. So,
You think it's all something might happen?
No, I don't think nothing gonna happen. Okay. I'm just trying to remain humble. When things start to happening and you get overly excited, kind of like anxious. But I'm just trying to remain humble.
Okay, cool. I'm liking that. So we're gonna jump right into it. So the conversation the reason I brought you on is because I wanted to have a conversation with a married man. And of course, what better married man would I have a conversation with than my own? I'm sure there's a lot of other married men that are probably good for this conversation, right. But I wanted to have my man on. I talk about you a lot. If I told T that if we could use a counter and count how many times I said my husband on the show, it probably will be a lot because I always talk about him. But anyway, so we had a conversation that stemmed from basically that marriage kind of was just a piece of paper.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to get your take on a few things about marriage. And first of all, what are your thoughts on marriage being just a piece of paper?
My initial thought would be like, they got to keep living. Mm-hmm. So that would be my initial thought. Marriage is just a piece of paper. It's not.
Okay. So what's your take on it? Beyond it being a legal document, what is your take about marriage? Like, what do you think marriage is? What does it mean to you? How do you perceive marriage?
Okay. So marriage to me, because I didn't grow up seeing marriage, I kind of, when I first seen it, it's kind of like I learned it. So marriage to me is, I look at it as being like a spiritual step in your life.
Okay.
So what I mean by a spiritual step in your life, meaning that, of course, God is the orchestrator of marriage. So if you find marriage and you find a wife, you find a good thing. So I just look at marriage as a step closer to fulfilling your purpose.
Okay.
For God. What God
okay.
calls you to do.
So do you think everybody's supposed to get married though?
Honestly, I kind of feel I kind of feel like that because it's in the Bible. Like he don't say that you probably have to get married, but I feel like if you find a wife, you find a good thing. Like why? I mean, everybody is entitled to the same thing. Like if you believe in God, we all children of God. So if you're a real believer and your faith is that high, then yeah, I feel like everybody should get married.
Everybody should get married. Oh,
if you a real believer and you stand on your faith, I mean, it's in the Bible, so why not?
Well, me personally, I don't think everybody should get married. I don't think everybody is called to marriage. I think that I look at marriage, singleness like gifts. So I feel like, when you on Christmas Day or whatever, be your birthday, and God give people, certain gifts. He gives some people singleness. He gives some people marriage. And I feel like just the thing about it is, I feel like everybody should stay in their lane though. So if you have that gift of marriage, if God bless you to say, okay, well, this is what I see fit for your life. You met somebody, and you know that God is putting on you to do the right thing and marry that person. I feel like you should stay in the boundaries of marriage and, do what God called married people to do, be fruitful, multiply, be sacrificial, those things. I feel like that's what you should do. And then when you're single, he has called you to do certain things too. And when you're single, you can't do the stuff that married do because he called you to be single. So you can't get the same privileges as a marriage person. And a person that is married cannot receive the same privileges as somebody that's single, because there's privileges in that as well. And so I don't think that everybody is called to be married. I do believe that if you are, then you should practice it the right way.
I think everyone have choices. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say I feel like people made their choice. I don't want to be married. I want to live like this. You want to live like that. The Bible is the Bible. You can't really argue with it. He's not the author of confusion. So it just, if you're not married, it's not that it wasn't meant for you to be married. You made a choice. And that's why you can't live a lie neither. Be honest with yourself. So we all know the truth about ourselves.
But there's people in the Bible that wasn't married.
Of course there's people in the Bible that wasn't married, but I feel like if God, if we are children of God, then he's not going to be like, hey, I'm gonna let this child be married. I don't want this child married.
Why not?
I just don't think I don't think he think like that. I don't think he's making, you have a choice. Like you have a choice if you want to be married, but will also come with being married.
But you also have a choice to be single.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with being single.
Exactly. So I just feel like people make their own choices, But in the end, and basically what I'm saying is I feel like people have a choice to get married, but I feel like God do want everyone. He would love for everyone to be married, but people make their choice. Yeah, I feel like that. That's just my thought. Though.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I guess I could see why you think that. Like, as far as I could see why you think that he would want that for everybody, because marriage is a beautiful thing. Yeah. And give the people, not even an example, but can you elaborate on the beautiful part of marriage? Because we hear so much on social media about, marry me and they the biggest cheaters, and marry me and cheat all the time, and you might as well stay single. And a lot of people are married and are married but single mothers still, and because their husbands don't help. You hear a lot of bad stuff basically on social media about being married, like more bad than probably good. So what would you say is a beautiful thing about being married, or a good thing about being married?
So like, to me, a good thing about being married is knowing that you have like a real life partner. Meaning that even if you feeling down, like when your partner get home, like you got somebody that you can go lay on, kind of like bug a little bit. Sometimes you ain't bugging them, but sometimes they just
decompress with.
Yes, decompress with. They have a little sympathy for you, so you don't have to go look for no extra friendships. Sometimes outside people, people be loners, but like if you get a wife, it's like you still a loner, but you're alone with your wife. So it's almost like you getting up out your loner stage, and it's like you just attached. Like, I don't know, it's like real love. I don't know how to explain it.
It's real love. So you feel like it's real love. So with that being said, do you feel like people can have that without the marriage part? Because people will argue that, okay, I can have real love without marriage, without the piece of paper.
Yeah, that's true. But the other thing about marriage is you start to see, I don't want to sound like a preacher up here. but you get to see like the scripture play out when you married. Like he's specifically says certain things about marriage and how once you become one, a union, you get more blessings. Like, and then like one can,
I know,
two can move 10,000. So if you got two people always on the same page, and me and you been practicing this lately, and like just look at kind of how like our life and turned around. You know what I mean? Like just getting on one accord, because we ain't always been on one accord.
No.
Just being honest. So but. Okay.
So you say we ain't always been on one accord. So I think that's like a lot of discourse about marriage. Like it's like, oh, you just got to be with somebody and suffer if they ain't the right person for you and this and that. But for me, I feel like marriage has taken me from this prideful, selfish type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I wanted to believe it or not, then to this, you know, selfless type of person. And I feel like marriage is a way to move you from like the small parts of yourself into like the bigger and better parts of yourself. It's almost like marriage kind of like takes the layers off of the person that you were before marriage, because it's like people always say if I'm not happy, I'm not gonna be in a marriage. But I feel like happiness, it comes in marriage, but I think that marriage moves you closer to holiness. Like it's like making you more whole, like a better person. Like the patience that you had before was little, but because you have to have patience and show up every day and choose to have patience with somebody that is outside of yourself, it almost gives you like it builds that character and that those characteristics stronger, basically.
Right. That was good though. From happiness to holiness.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That's why I was saying, like, in marriage, like it's almost like you're gonna see yourself like getting closer to your journey, because you're gonna find out more about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're gonna find out what you thought you was good at, you really ain't. You can't control your emotions. Like you're gonna find out a lot about yourself if you don't live a lie.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I said marriage is like, it's like a step closer to your.
And so as a Black man and being married, how do you think marriage has like shaped you into a better man? Like outside of just being a husband, but just being a better man.
So like as far as marriage, to be honest, it's like I feel like it gave me a extra sense of power, which is pretty much like the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So it pretty much like empowered me to where like you really, really like identify yourself as a real man of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a different type of power if you understand it. A lot of men don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't understand the power. So they abuse the power because they go about the role not fully taking up on the responsibility of the role.
Right.
So they don't accept.
They just use the power instead of responsibility.
They just want the power, but they're not accepting the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see a lot of marriages, they don't last. But I feel, to me, honestly, I don't know what really go on, but I feel like somebody is abusing the power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think that, when as soon as you get married, you hear, oh, you got to be submissive to me. And I feel like that's what a lot of men, they go into it like, oh, you got to listen to me. And don't really have anything as a foundation to even listen to.
Right.
Like they just have the idea that, okay, I got a wife. Now I know she's supposed to listen to me. I know she's supposed to do whatever I ask her to do. She's supposed to do this and that. And that's kind of like what we've been trained to believe as like growing up. Like this is what it means to be married. Like you just do all the house chores. I'm going to go outside, make all the money. And whenever I say do something, you do it. And then it's like, that's not a marriage. That's like really like a dictatorship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just don't, I feel like people have only known, it's almost kind of like before you realize something for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about God all the time, but like before you really know God for yourself, you just look at God like this mean person that don't want you to do nothing, and you gotta be it's so strict to be a Christian, and it's so this and that. I feel like that's how people view marriage. Like it's so, oh, you can't cheat or you can't do this. They look at all of the restrictions instead of looking at it from the other side, like, oh, you
how
have
it can make you whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how can you as a person become complete? But that's why I'm saying it shapes you into like who you're going to become. Like it just give you a different mindset. You're going to look at everything different because you're going to have an actual guidance like from God. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think people, and when he said complete, like it's not that the other person is completing you. It's that the work to love another person unconditionally is completing you. The work that you have to do in yourself in order to be able to love somebody unconditionally.
It's the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. It's the work. I don't think it's because I know people say, "Oh, I don't need nobody to complete me," and I'm that person. I'm gonna be like, I don't need no man to complete me. But really, like, it's not even the man itself. It's just
And something just came to me, and you just said it's the work, and I'm just thinking like work without faith is dead. So they saying like, what's the difference? You ain't got to be married. Okay, you putting in the work. So y'all both living together. Y'all ain't married. Y'all living just like this married couple. But work without faith is dead. You got that faith is tying that knot.
Yeah.
Going into God. We do this unto God. We become one under God. You know, that's the faith that I think people might be get confused when they say you ain't got to be married, this and that. But you want these real blessings, like you want your 40
you want that
acres
real
in
favor.
the mirror. You want all this that you know that's in the Bible that's going it's proven to get given to you.
You're right.
Man, have faith.
Right.
More faith than work.
Right. Another thing that you said just now was about when you want the blessings of God to be on you. And it's really hard for me to hear people that are believers, or they say that they are believers, that say stuff like, oh, I ain't really got to be married. I ain't got to do that. I don't got to go to no church. I don't got to go to no courthouse. I don't got to do none of that. Right. But I was saying this before, the same people will put protections around certain things in their life. Like right. If you bought a house, you wouldn't just be like, oh, I just bought a house, I ain't getting no insurance. Or I bought a car, I ain't getting no insurance. I ain't doing no paperwork with, it's mine. I ain't got to worry about all that. But people don't do that. People right. take the necessary steps to protect what they love. Right. And I feel like, and not to say that if you're in a long-term relationship and you haven't gotten married, that person doesn't love you. Right. They just might not understand the importance of it yet, but you protect what you love. And I feel like in order to protect like something like our union, marriage was necessary. I also was talking about, I was talking to T about in the comments about, our daughter being able to know where her lineage and her legacy and the things that we are building now it is, and how she can obtain it as she gets older. And I think a lot of people, and T was under the impression that, oh, if it's yours, then of course it's gonna go to your kids. If it's yours, then of course it's gonna go to our car and this and that. But not necessarily, because if we chose to be in a relationship and never get married, in Texas, which is one of the states that recognizes common law, you might as well go ahead and get the paperwork and get everything legally situated, because in Texas, they recognize common law. And say, for instance, you shack up with this person and live, and this is y'all mess around, have a baby or whatever. You think, oh, all my stuff gonna go to my kids because we ain't legally married. No, your stuff is gonna go to that man or that woman because y'all were commonly law married. Right. And the state that you live in recognizes that, and they have just as much right as a person that would have had a legal marriage with. Right. So you run the risk of your kids, him leaving or her leaving with your possessions, your assets, going off to be with another woman in the house that you pay for because you like, oh, I don't gotta get married. Right. And your kid's not being left with anything, because ultimately he has rights, and those rights are that he can have your assets because y'all were commonly law married. So why would you risk that type of situation? And just, if you're gonna be with that person anyway, why not take that extra layer of protection? I feel like that be my thing. Like, what's the point of not doing it? Like, what benefit do you get from not doing it? Do you find any type of benefit of not getting married?
Do I find a benefit in not getting married?
It's hard to think about a benefit of not getting married. If you're in a relationship and I'm not saying like if you're single, I'm not talking about that, but like
teamwork make the dream work.
Really, for real though.
For real though, one is better than two all day. So
you mean two is better than one?
I mean, yeah, you got me.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
See, yeah, cool. 2 is better than 1. Marriage requires growth and sacrifice. We already said that. What has that looked like for you? Like, what kind of growth have you experienced, and what type of sacrifice have you made to have a marriage and have a wife?
As far as growth, I grew as a man.
In what ways?
My mentality has kind of changed. How I used to move fast for money. I don't move fast no more for money at all. I don't even really. move for money. It might sound cliche, but I don't really move for money.
Mm-hmm.
Like money come to me now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that right there, it changed me. It's showing me how to love. I don't think I really knew how to really love.
Mm-hmm.
So with like a kid and a wife, I'm learning how to love more, just from my upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I feel like it's helping me. It's helping me crazy in my spiritual life. It's going crazy right there. Like I'm almost, I don't know. I feel like I'm peaked out with spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like how it didn't help me grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you in the marriage, it's like you can't really, you can't, you're not supposed to anyway, but you're going to find yourself that you know that you can't really go to your peers for your problems.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you always got to go to God. You got to get in that Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to get in that word, because everything that you're going through, really, you're going to find it. You just got to look for it in that Bible. So I feel like as far as me being married, it led me to the Bible a lot. That's kind of why I'm more deeper into it. My whole marriage, like from the first day, it's been spiritual. It's been a spiritual. It was a spiritual warfare at first, I feel like. So just us working through that. Like I see how just not only my life changed, but like everything around us, even our daughter. Like, and I feel like me being married even allowed my daughter to know God at an early age. I didn't really know God until I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So like but my mama wasn't married. So I don't know how true it is, but I know that by me as her father being around and pushing God on her, it's more than just one person trying to push God on you.
Right.
Then you kind of start to understand more, or you hear more. So
you respect it. I think it's not even that it's like you have to push it on her. I feel like she respected because she respect your role in the household. Like she respect both of our roles in the household, and she look at us like, okay, if they able to do something, then I need to be able, like, it's almost kind of like being a role model, and what you practice, your children will follow. Like they will pick it up. But you spoke about like spiritual warfare at the beginning of our marriage. I done told this story on multiple platforms. Everybody pretty much know our history in our marriage. But I also want to speak to the fact that spiritual warfare in marriages, or just warfare, physical, whatever, it doesn't have to be does not mean mistreatment. And I think a lot of people think like, why would I stay in a marriage if they not treating me right, or they not doing me right, this is that. I don't expect anybody to stay anywhere where they're being mistreated on purpose with bad intentions. And so I think that when people talk about the good, the bad, the ugly in marriage, all those the negative words like the bad, the ugly, I think people think that means like, oh, somebody was mistreating you and you let somebody hurt you, or you let somebody do you bad. I think that we need to get out of the headspace of believing it. It's not always that. It's sometimes just the fact that a person is not spiritually mature enough or emotionally intelligent enough to work through certain situations at the time, and they have to be coached, and they have to, like Carrie said, go into the word and figure out like, how do I approach this situation? Because sometimes a lot of the arguments don't even be us arguing against each other. It's really like the devil just put things in our mind to believe about our spouse that is not really even true. Like we know it in our hearts of hearts, but in the moment you like, I gotta defend. And I think that's the ugly parts of marriage, or the bad parts of the downside people talk about, is really in reality them trying to defend something that don't really need to be defended. And so, or sometimes it might need to be defended, and then the other person just doesn't know how to take the offense, or you know what I'm saying? Or people are easily offended by everything. And it make it look like, oh, this is just a horrible marriage. This person don't love me, and this and that.
It's just like the truth hurts. You know what I mean? So it just be like a harsh reality. You know what I mean?
And it's an opportunity for growth. I think the ugly parts of marriage are opportunities for growth.
Now that we grew past
it, exactly. Because at first it was like, oh nah, this nigga, he got me. Don't play with me.
It's
like,
almost like she playing.
Yeah. Nah, it don't never be me playing.
Nah, like, and I can remember like like your growth, like, because I remember like in the beginning, and I would say things, and you was like, no, you was a little, you was cocoa. It's a little spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy cocoa.
Very much spicy.
But I feel like see when I knew what was going on, but it's like I was almost at his face to where like only I know. I don't think she figured it out yet. So it's like sometimes men, we have to make a decision. Don't follow that flesh decision though. Go to God about it, especially as a man. We faced with so many obstacles. Black, white, Mexican, don't even matter. As a man, period. Because we who really basically who God depend on to get his work done, the men. So and when you talk about getting married, that mean, if you obviously do decide to get married, then your job just became that much harder because now God gave you of a real like what's the word I'm looking for?
A family or what?
A real
responsibility.
Basically, yeah, responsibility. You know what I mean? So your accountability is going to be held 10 times more. I always tell people like marriage is what you don't want to play with. If you're going to get married, do it. Don't do nothing else but the marriage.
Right. And don't play with it. Please don't play with it. I have one more question for you. So basically, just to kind of wrap it up, if you were able to talk to anybody young or old that was debating about whether they should participate in being married, what advice would you give them?
I would first I'd tell them just pray about it, go to God about it first, and then just ask yourself, are you really ready to accept whatever come with it? Like, are you willing to accept complete change? Because if you get married 9 times out of 10, you're going to change. You ain't going into marriage perfect. Nobody, no man is. I don't care who you is. What you say? No man is going into marriage perfect. It's just a different ball game. Because it's like you're not playing with other people. It's like it's you and God. So it's like a one-on-one match with you and God. So it's a whole different ball game. Be mentally prepared. Don't get scared when I say like one-on-one with God, but it's more like it's you in the mirror, so you facing yourself. So it's almost like you can become this amazing man of God only if you accept the challenge, though.
It definitely is a ministry in marriage. It definitely is work. Like, it's not something that I would say just stay single as long as you can. No, I'm just playing. Nah. I would say just make sure that's what you really want to do. I feel like, and if like you saying, are you up for the challenge of it? Because it's you're gonna change. It changes you, and people. And the reason I say that marriage changes you specifically is because I take us for example. I feel like when we first got married, it don't matter how much we heard, how many times we heard like, this is how you're supposed to do this is how you're supposed to do that. All of the self-help, all of the marriage counseling. We done been through marriage counseling, group counseling, that we've been in. And I feel like it was very beneficial. I feel like it was an accountability component for us. But however, I feel like that was never the point that cracked the code. The part that cracked the code for me, and you can agree or disagree, was truly having a relationship with God for yourself, a personal. This is not talking about anything to do with Carrie. Me personal. Having a personal relationship with God cracked the code to my marriage because it gave me somebody to hold me accountable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't talked to that man, right? You know what I'm saying? It almost kind of like, once I got that relationship, the convictions of my attitude, the convictions of my pride, the convictions of all of that stuff, no matter how many times we heard, you got to let the pride go in a marriage from, counselors and people that, specialize in stuff like that. It was literally the conviction from God that took root and really made a difference. Like all that other stuff, it was cool. But when I heard God, like, you wrong for how you just handled that situation, then it made me want to change or do something different the next time. It wasn't the fact that I read a self-help book, and now that stuff is very beneficial because it all makes sense. Right. But before that, it wasn't it wasn't that really for me.
So it's like that with the women too. Then just you and God.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, but you know, God is love. God is peace. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing.
Patience.
It's patience. It's powerful. You get all of that. Like, man, people call me right now, and I just be like, I'm chilling. You know, they be like, man, how? I'm like, I can't even explain it. Like, I wouldn't expect this for my life. You know what I mean? But like, it's true. Like, just, you know, be a good steward to God. He got you. If you decide to get married, just treat it like it's your last opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And God gonna bless you regardless. He is no doubt in my mind He not gonna bless you.
Yeah, I heard Fave telling T and them that you know, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're not married and you live together, don't live together. Like, do right. He was like, he said, you think you when you doing it wrong, the first person that the priority on it's like a list. He compared it to being a list. There's a list, and it's the people that's at the top. There's the people at the top are the people that are married, doing right, you know, living by God. Those are the people that God is going to tend to first when something happens. So when things go wrong in your life and you already doing it wrong, you doing all this other stuff, then it's gonna take God. It ain't that God not gonna come there, you know, help you, but He's gonna prioritize the people that are being obedient. And so I feel like that about marriage. I feel like when you in a marriage, it's not that all marriages are perfect and every day is loving. But if you're being obedient to His word and you addressing issues like He would address issues, it has no choice but to get better. It has no choice but to change in a positive way.
And then on the cool, like, you know how people got this picture of marriage is love, people being together, creating a family. I think if it would be better if we put out the real about marriage. Like, marriage is challenging. Like, it's love, but it's also
some
like
strife.
It's a spiritual journey. If we looked at it more like of a spiritual journey more than love and a bond and a family, like, I feel like people will last longer in marriage. You know, people go into marriage looking for this thing,
fairy tale,
looking for this thing, but nobody's looking for the Holy Spirit. So everybody get lost along the way in their marriage,
right?
Because they not on one accord. You looking for this and he looking for that, and nobody who looking for God,
right?
You know what I mean? So it's really all in all.
Okay. Well, that's our 30 minutes, honey bun.
Okay.
So thank you for coming on and having this talk with me. I hope that you guys were able to gain some insight about marriage, and about how you might want to take it on or not take it on. That's up to you. But yeah, until next time, y'all.